So Freeway, my name is Dave Atwood, and it's a pleasure to be here today talking to you. If you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button. It helps a lot. Thanks so much. And thanks so much for stopping by and checking out what we have to talk about today. Today I am rocking my Uvex sunglasses and not the Ray-Bans because I left the Ray-Bans at home this morning. It is Tuesday, the day after Thanksgiving long weekend, which I made a little bit longer by taking the Friday off, which was very pleasant, and ended up, funny enough, ended up having to go deal with one of the rental properties with a leak in the ceiling. And it was one of those really cool things where it had already happened in the past, where another unit I rent out had a leak, and I had to go deal with it and had to troubleshoot it to figure out what it was. And I was able to figure out what it was back then. It took me a couple of days to diagnose it, but now, having gone through it, this time I walked in, I saw the problem with the leak, I cut a hole in the drywall, and within a couple of seconds I was able to diagnose exactly what the problem was. And had I not gone through the garbage before of trying to figure out what the problem was, I would have had to do it this time. And it goes to back what I said before in the past, where if you go through tough stuff, it helps you in the future. It's a gift you give yourself by surviving hard times and going through and dealing with it later. So took the extra day off, but then ended up having to spend the day fixing a problem like a leak. And let me straighten it a little bit there. There we go. So it made me feel good about myself. You know, it made me feel good that I was able to actually diagnose a problem, get to the root of it, and fix it like that. And the great thing about that is that doing it that way, fixing the problem as quickly as I was able to, it's just efficient, saved me some money. Ooh, nice Porsche. So you know, like I've said before in the past, like when bad stuff happens, sometimes it's a really good thing, so keep that in mind. But today I wanted to talk about something really interesting. There are some people that I work with that are a little bit frustrated they're not moving forward in their company quick enough, or they're not where they want to be in the company, and they get really upset because they will say things like, I know more about the job than the guy who got promoted over me. I've been here longer than the guy who got promoted over me. How dare they promote someone over me? And I think when it comes to situations like that, those people are focused more on the result, the end goal, and less on the process of getting through to the next stage. And so what they do is they'll be really smart about their job and they'll know all the details, but they're not personable. They're not showing up on time, if at all. And if there's a way to get around work, a way to skirt around it, they're gonna do that. And they think, and it's really funny because in the moment they think they're getting away with it, and they may be getting away with not being reprimanded because they show up late for work. But in the end, it does come up and they do pay for it. And this is what happened, right? Because somebody was saying, oh, this person's able to do all this stuff and there's no consequences. And I had to stop them and say, actually, there is consequences, because now this person is not a supervisor. This person will never be supervisor. They know the job really well, but because they use the letter of the law to their advantage, and they miss out on the spirit of what's being asked of them. And when it comes time for management to make a decision who they want to promote, well, they're not going to promote the administrative burden. They're going to promote somebody that's fluid, easy, someone who comes in early, someone who's eager. And these are things that are almost, I won't say they're not quantifiable, because you can see when someone comes in early and they're ready to start work. They're not rolling in, clocking in just as the bell turns, and they're hungover, they're disheveled, they didn't sleep well, they're complaining about their situation in life. These are the things that people don't understand, and they don't understand why that they're being held back. And this is why it's so important when I talk about mindset. These are some of the things that come into play. If you've got a shitty attitude towards your boss at work, then you're going to have a shitty attitude towards your work. You're not going to put the effort in. You're not going to get to that next level if that's what you want out of life. So it's really important to have an attitude of gratitude, and when you get to work, be grateful that you have a job, and understand that especially a job like the one I have, there's a lot of people who would like to have my job. So you should kind of, be grateful for it and work accordingly. Even if you're able to do a few things to kind of skirt the system, it's always best to just kind of go in there and start a few minutes early. And I say start a few minutes early because that just seems to be the simplest thing to do, to change not only your attitude towards work, but your supervisor's attitude towards you. If you're having issues at work, if you're having issues like climbing the ladder, or you feel like you don't have ambition at work, simply start with getting up out of bed 5 minutes early. And to me, that's attainable. So if you're going to the gym, leave the gym 5 minutes early. If you're getting up and doing your workout at home, 5 minutes early. Like, set that clock 5 minutes earlier. Get on the road 5 minutes earlier. And if you're like me and you commute, and you're commuting in heavy traffic like I am right now, where I got rush hour traffic, leaving those 5 minutes early will make all the difference in the world in your commute as well. I am amazed at how bad traffic, how much 5 minutes can difference, how much of a difference 5 minutes can make in traffic like this. Like, I can see I'm not moving very fast here, but just showing up those 5 minutes earlier will make all the difference in the world. And if you're the kind of person that goes to the cafeteria for lunch, bring your lunch, eat your lunch, bring a sandwich. Just there's little tiny things you can do to make yourself stand out and be just a better employee. But I would say, if that's what you want, if you want to become a better employee, or if you want to move up the corporate ladder and you want to get to that next level, number one, know your job. Know your job inside and out. Because if you know your job inside out, you're better equipped to handle the job of supervising someone who's supposed to know your job. And also, you will have more respect from the people that you are supervising when they know that you know the job really well. Next, show up a little bit early. Just show up 5 minutes earlier, and it makes such a big difference in your appearance to your coworkers and to your management. So, and another thing too, and this is a really big thing, don't call in sick. If you're sick, come to work. If you have a headache, come to work. If you're hungover, come to work. If you got a cold, come to work. Wear a mask so you don't get other people sick, but come to work. First, it gets you into the habit of showing up every day. Like, a work day is a work day. You don't go home. Like, you go to work. And you get into the habit of that, it makes a difference. And also, the boss sees you coming to work, and they see that you're struggling, and they recognize that, and they appreciate that. And your coworkers, well, maybe they won't appreciate you sniffling and coughing all over them. That's why I say wear a mask. But they will appreciate you, and they'll start to look at you differently. Because the thing I have when I'm talking to people, because I'm also a shop steward for my union, one of the biggest problems I have is people who come to me. The thing I notice with them is they come to work on time, just on time, and they call in sick a lot. If you call in sick a lot, people notice. If you come in just on time every day, people notice. And if you want to make a difference, you want to get somewhere, you want to move up the ladder, the two things I would say: number one, know your job inside out. Number two, show up 5 minutes early. Number three, don't call in sick. And once you get into the habit of just showing up every day, it actually becomes habitual, and it becomes easier. And you start to run on this psychological inertia where you just keep rolling through, and getting up, going to the gym and getting to work on time becomes really easy. Thanks so much for listening. I really appreciate it. And it is the end of, we're Tuesday. We had dinner Sunday. I'm still full from my dinner on Sunday, and I had this delicious turkey soup for lunch today. It was just amazing. But now I am just absolutely stuffed. I hope you guys all had a good Thanksgiving, and yeah, thanks so much for watching. Again, as I said before, subscribe. It makes the world of difference to me. And you know, click the thumbs up button. Let me know that you like what I'm feeding you guys. And hit the notification button. That's always nice. But remember, again, the most important thing, even if you don't subscribe, share this with other people. Share this so people understand that we're trying to make everyone's life better, that everyone can live a life of abundance and happiness. Thanks so much. God bless.